Welcome to the Secrets of Confident Women podcast, where you'll learn all the best tips, tricks, and practical techniques for building the confidence levels you've always wanted. With inspiring interviews, real-life examples, and game-changing insights, this podcast is for women who know that mastering the skill of confidence is one of the most important things they'll ever do.
Well, hello. I just can't believe we're finally here. Welcome to the Secrets of Confident Women podcast. And I tell you, Anastasia and I are so excited. We've just been working so hard to get this podcast going, and I'm just thrilled to be able to finally bring it to you. So I guess the question is, who are we and what is this podcast all about? Well, my name is Jodie Bruce Clark. I'm an author, I'm a speaker, a confidence coach, co-creator of our course, the Ultimate Confidence Course for Women, and I'm a busy mum. And with my business partner, Anastasia, who I'll introduce you to you in a second, we run a business called Rise Women, which is dedicated to helping women increase their confidence. And we absolutely love what we do. I started my coaching business way back in 2002, and then I started speaking specifically on confidence for women, as this was a main theme that I saw in the coaching clients that I was attracting. They all had this underlying confidence issue that was really in the way of achieving their goals. You see, confidence really is the foundation we build our lives on, yet so many people that I meet feel like it's unattainable and that they have no access to it. Well, we're here to tell you that that's simply not the case. Everyone can have access to the confidence levels they want, but you can't leave it to chance. You have to work for it, just like everything else in life that's worth anything. Which means the most important thing for you to know right now is this: confidence is a skill. And like any other skill, it takes work and commitment. And it's a bit like, I talk often about it being like a fitness routine. You know, you wouldn't tell someone who's really fit that they're lucky to be fit, or that that they've sort of magically got the fitness gene, because it's almost insulting. We know that it takes dedication, commitment, and a hell of a lot of hard work to maintain a certain level of fitness. You know, someone who's fit gets out of bed when the rest of us press that snooze button, but, you know, they put in the work. And well, look, confidence is exactly the same. No one is confident by luck or by chance. It takes work and commitment. And this is exactly what this podcast is about. We want to show you how we maintain our confidence levels and how other women are doing it. And we want you to know that you can do it too. So let me now introduce you to the other half of Rise Women. This amazing woman and I met at our daughter's dance class, I think, when they were probably around 6 years old. And I was looking for someone to help me with some admin stuff that I had, you know, in another business that I ran, and Anastasia started working with me on that. And then when I wanted to relaunch Rise Women after taking some time off to have kids, as you do, I just knew that we worked together so well. So I asked Anastasia if she would be interested in going into business with me, and luckily for me, she said yes. And so our partnership began. So therefore, I'd like you to meet the best business partner a girl could want, Miss Anastasia Adams. As usual, I am so happy you are here. So why don't you introduce yourself and tell everyone a bit about you?
Oh my God, I don't know if I can top that introduction, but I'll try.
Of course.
Hi everyone, I'm Anastasia Adams. I am the other half of Rise Women. I'm also a mum of two, and I think generally I'm just a happy person, I guess.
You are, for sure.
I love working with Jodie on Rise Women because I just love anything to do with confidence and positivity and well-being, and it just really makes me happy to see other women doing well and achieving their goals. We're so excited to bring you this podcast because we really know how much value you'll get from it. And we want it to be filled. I mean, we've worked so hard to just fill it with awesome stories and great interviews and really amazing information from us and from the women that we plan on interviewing. And we just want it to be your one-stop shop for all things confidence. So basically when you're in a situation and you know that more confidence will help you, then all you'll need to do is pop over to the podcast, just flick through the episodes, find the one that you know will work, and we're guaranteed you'll find something to help you every time.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's start this podcast and our launch, our welcome, our first of many.
Yep.
Let's share our confidence secrets, because that's what we do, and that's what people are probably dying to hear. So let me ask you, from everything we know and everything you've learned, what would you say is the biggest confidence tip or secret as such, and how has that changed your life?
Okay. So I think my absolute go-to confidence technique, which really I've only just recently identified as a technique, is to surround yourself with those who say you can.
Yeah,
and I know it sounds simple. It sounds like a bit of a no-brainer, but I don't think many people really understand how valuable this is. It's just gotten me out of so many tricky situations in my life, times that, I was really, really challenged and stressed. And having the right people around you makes all the difference. And I'm actually really lucky because I do have an amazing network of people around me. But just recently it dawned on me that it wasn't actually luck that brought these people to me, right? It was
no
me.
luck.
No, I did it. It was something that I consciously set out to do.
Yeah.
And, like everyone, I've had lots of opportunities to keep just miserable, negative, toxic people in my life. But over the years, I've realised slowly, as I've gotten older and wiser, that these people don't make me happy.
Oh, no, I know.
Right? They're not looking out for our best interest. They're not giving me every opportunity to live the life that I want. So I had to just slowly and subtly, and sometimes not so subtly, let them go. And then in exchange, I've just made a really conscious effort to draw positive people to me and more encouraging people closer to me, because these are the people who do make me happy.
Yeah.
And they help me achieve what I want, even if they're not actually actively helping me do what I'm doing. Just their support and their encouragement is enough, because it reminds me that, even if I stuff it up or I fail or, whatever happens, I'll be okay.
Yeah.
And I don't think there's anything more empowering than that. And confidence works that way. If it's that knowledge that no matter what happens, I can sort this out.
Yeah, and you need those people around you to, sometimes you don't necessarily need help as such with exactly what you're doing, or even advice, but it's just that belief that someone to go, oh my God, you've totally got this, you can do this. It's the encouragement, and you see it when it's the opposite. Yes. How when someone isn't behind you, or they criticize what you're doing, or they continually put, the negative spin on anything you suggest that you want to do with your life, how much that undercuts you.
Yeah. So you could have the most amazing idea and be so excited about it, and one word from someone just cuts you off at the knees.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So, and it makes such an impact on us when it is the negative.
Yeah.
But we don't often really recognise
and
value when that we do, because we know what a difference it makes. But, it's that the value of the one person that is in your cheer squad constantly, or encouraging you, makes all the difference. It really does.
Absolutely. Plus, it's just fun. It's kind of awesome just to have really fun, positive people around you, because I think things like happiness and confidence and positivity, they are contagious. They really are. You cannot look at someone and be with someone who's happy and positive and laughing and be miserable.
No.
Unless you are one of those really miserable people. But yeah, anyone would pick a happy person over a miserable one any day, because that's what you want your environment to be, right?
Well, that's right. Life's too short.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. So that's been my little confidence secret, I think. And it's not so much a secret, but I think what the secret's been for me is that it is a technique. Yeah. It's something that you need to work on. You can't just magically expect the right people to be around you. You've got to make an effort with that.
Yeah, for sure.
And it's just helped me so many times in my life.
Yeah.
So many times.
Yeah.
So what about you? What do you think your biggest confidence tip or technique is, or secret even, and how has it changed your life?
Right. So, look, I was thinking about this week, and really as we're preparing for this podcast, and even working with the clients I've worked with this week, and I really think the go-to baseline technique that I'm always banging on about and always working on, and always it comes into every client session and everything I do, is getting control of the negative voice in my head.
Yeah.
And look, that is it's something I'm sure we'll talk about many times on this podcast, because it's the negative, damaging conversation that we all have in our heads at times.
No one is exempt.
No.
Yeah.
That can really unravel our goals and our motivation and even our happiness. So I was lucky enough to be introduced to books and information that taught me to control my thoughts as a teenager. My mum introduced me to these things through challenges she was going through in her life. And I learned in the 80s, God forbid.
Way before your time.
About positive thinking, affirmations, power mantras, and all that information that started coming out about really not believing in everything my brain had to say. And look, if you can get this and practice this and really understand that just because you have a thought does not make it true, you can start to change and control your thoughts so much better, and not just believe the thoughts that turn up in your head, because most of them, and especially the automated ones, are complete and utter rubbish.
And the negative ones, right?
The negative,
that's
absolutely.
our go-to.
That is the go-to.
Yeah.
So from there, look, I've spent my life working on it. The skill of not believing everything I think. And look, it really is a skill that you learn and practice and master. So now I love anything to do with brain science and understanding how and why we think certain things. And I bring this into the one-on-one coaching, as I said. And as you know, there's techniques that we put there's in my book, and we put techniques in our course to help women learn this skill, because this really is that baseline. Like it's the starting point. It's the starting point. You can't increase your confidence and change your life and start stepping outside your comfort zone and start, really pushing the boundaries of life and what you want in life if your brain is untamed, running the negative, you can't do it, you're not good enough, all the stuff that just, runs.
Brings you down, yeah.
You just can't. It's so much more challenging to try to push outside your comfort zone when that voice is really just undercutting you at every single minute.
Yeah.
And plus, I think having you around helps me too.
So you've surrounded yourself, have you?
There's that surrounding myself.
Yeah,
because,
we've both done that.
You don't let me get caught on my own negative thinking track. And I think that's like what we communicate all the time to our course participants, and everyone we come into contact with. It's like we have that voice too. Like we are confident women, but we have that voice. But we have these techniques that we've put in place and we've practiced to be able to get that voice under control so that we can achieve what we want in our lives and keep pushing through the boundaries and doing that. So anytime, even in business, when I get caught on, a negative thinking track, or I get overrun by fear, or we're learning something new, which in small business we always seem to be doing.
Yep.
It's like, it's so great to have you in my life to go, get me off that, give me a quick kick up the backside pretty early and go, right, let's just get into action. Or that's,
It's a sounding board, right?
Yeah.
And just a different perspective.
Yeah. And I think it is like, it's getting out, you help me get out of my own head and change that perspective and not buy into the BS that my brain's saying.
Yeah.
So then I have to sort of move on and just get on with it, which is great. It's perfect. And I think I really see that that's the main role that I play with coaching clients. I try to help them shift their focus and help them have new thoughts and ideas, but also challenge the thoughts that they are having of not good enough, they're not, not ready for this next job role, etc. Because that helps them see the new ways to think, and then they can expand their thinking, and then that it produces different results.
Well,
And
you're
often,
basically giving them an alternative voice, right?
That's right. And that's what people are coming to coaching with, to help them produce a different result. And there's many factors that come into that, accountability and whatever. But, to have someone change their thinking is the first step for them to make a different, take a different step and take a different role.
You know, I love when we speak to clients and, they say they went to do something or they thought something and then they had Jodie's voice in their head.
Oh, yes.
Going, are you sure? And it's like you become that, that counter to the negative voice in their head. And just one word or one comment, I mean, we see it all the time from a coaching session, can just change everything, because when their brain does start going off on that negative tangent, there is something in there that can bring them back. And it's just so great to have a different perspective that you can call on, because it's one more thing that convinces you that what you might be thinking might not actually be true. Because, you'll hear a friend say something and you'll hear a friend voice a negative thought that they have, and you instantly jump on that and go, no, that's not true. And yet we don't do it for ourselves. Yeah. Because we're too much within our own heads, and you need that external influence sometimes to just give you guidance and go, remember that it's just a thought. It's not actually true.
Yeah. Oh, I love it when they say I've been in their heads.
I know.
Then I know that
you're haunting them.
I know, but it's like they need that. It almost like I wasn't going to do it, and then I heard the voice Jodie had, in my head say, just do it, push on all the stuff that they
sometimes
get
that's
in
all
the
you
coaching.
need.
But that's it. But that's what we need, that pushes them to have that other perspective and push them forward, because you just cannot believe everything you think. You just honestly don't believe most things you think.
I know, right?
Really. You've got to consciously, and this is, I guess, the point we want to really talk about a lot here on the podcast, but what we talk about in all the information and stuff that we do is helping them to see that it's just it's consciously choosing thoughts. And sometimes people have never realized that that's what you've got to do. That's what we all do. That's anyone who's out there achieving and really creating the life they want.
It's intentional, right?
It has to be.
Happen by accident.
It just doesn't happen. And obviously you can get these fleeting times when your brain's going, oh my God, you're awesome, so great. But then it's gone. Like the next day, it's gone. Yep. So you need the techniques and you need the skill to work out how to keep on this track, so that when, so that you have this positive conversation in your head more consistently in your life, because that allows you to do what you want to do.
Well, that's it. I mean, consistency is key. You cannot, it'll come and go, and you can't just leave it to chance. You really cannot leave your confidence to chance, because if you do, I'm telling you now, it's not going to work.
No.
Confidence doesn't work that way. Life doesn't work that way. You can't just sit back and expect things to happen to you. You need to actually take responsibility and just do whatever you need to do to give yourself a happier and more confident life. I mean, that's the way it works. You need to surround yourself with the right people. If that works for you, it works for me. I think it works for everyone.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Read books, read great books, listen to awesome podcasts. Maybe this one, I don't know.
Oh, yeah, this one.
Just do whatever makes you happy and whatever gives you that confidence boost to give yourself the best chance of success. Because you just can't go wrong. You give yourself great opportunities and it will never backfire on you. And then even if something does go wrong, or if you do fail at something, you've got that confidence to know that you can bounce back from it.
Yeah. Any work you put into building your confidence will never be wasted.
No.
Don't you think? Like,
never.
It just, even a small, and we've seen this in so many of the women we've worked with over the years, that even just the smallest shift in a thought or their confidence, or just them even having the confidence to, put their hand up in a meeting and share their ideas, they become so damn proud of themselves.
And it starts something like a butterfly effect, that you do it and it boosts your confidence, and then somebody else sees it and they're inspired by it, and they go, well, if they did it and they didn't get shut down, maybe I can try it next time. And then when you start to create that environment, because it is contagious, your kids see it, your partner will see it, your family and friends will see it, and this is something that we want to spread. This is like a good virus that we want to spread, because we want people to catch this.
Yeah. Absolutely. It just won't, it will not happen by fluke.
No.
It needs to be worked out. But it's so worth it.
Yeah.
It's so worth it. So what we really want to communicate on this first podcast is that low confidence affects everyone. You know, people used to say, oh, you're so lucky to have confidence to me. And really that's how this business all sort of got started, or how I started speaking, you know, doing presentations and speaking about confidence, because I'd have these people say, oh, you're so lucky to have confidence. And then I'd explain to them that it's just not luck. It's hard work. You know, so it is putting in the work, but it does affect everyone. And it just doesn't discriminate. Like, it doesn't discriminate between what age you are, what industry you work in, how you were brought up, who you married, how much money you have, how successful you are, or even what stage of life that you're at. You know, at one point or another, 1 minute you've got confidence and then, you know, something happens and it's gone, or a life event happens that really shakes the foundations. I know we've worked a lot with women who, you know, were really confident in that they had careers and younger years and all those sorts of things. And they felt like they had more of a foundation of confidence. And then after children, it just really got lost somewhere. You know, obviously those years that maybe they were out of corporate world, or they were out of jobs and careers for a number of years. And then, you know, they want to go back. Maybe their bodies have changed shape. Their lives look completely different.
Their priorities are different.
Their priorities are different. You know, they don't want to, you know, work the 12 and 15-hour days that maybe they thought they were dedicating to that career beforehand. So their confidence really takes a hit. And
isn't it funny how we tie confidence to certain things? Like, you know, you think if you're being really successful in a career, then you must be confident because in the corporate world you're doing great. And yet so many women are running this mum show, or they're biz mums, and they're doing stuff from home, or there's so many different ways that you could be projecting confidence, but we tie it into, well, if you're in a power suit and you're in the city every day, you must be confident.
Yeah, it's so not true.
I know, like a woman at home with 3 kids and making dinner and, you know, running her own business, or doing both, or with no kids and, you know, just leading a certain life. You can have confidence in so many different ways. It doesn't have to be tied to something that you feel you need to identify with. Just because you've lost confidence in one area of your life, just because there's been a transition or something has happened, doesn't necessarily mean that you're not a confident person.
No, well, I think it's that those life events just really...
They throw you.
Or you go through a divorce, or you get... I mean, we've... you know, a lady recently in our course had been retrenched and couldn't... that life event really shook her.
Yeah.
So many different life events happen, but, you know, throughout everyone's life, at some point, there's going to be the highs and lows of confidence. And it's just knowing that it does affect everyone, and it's not something that if it's gone for good. You know, you can work to get it back.
Yeah.
It's that it is something that is attainable, but sometimes we just haven't learnt the skill or the techniques to actually bring that in. You know, it doesn't just drop out of the sky one day and magically hit you over the head and go, hey, I'm here, you know, great. Now you can get on with the rest of your life. Like,
and you know what, if it did,
like that.
Probably wouldn't be worth anything.
No.
If it was that easy to get it, it would be worth having it.
No.
There's always satisfaction and achievement in working at something and then getting it.
Yeah. You know, we see this all the time. Without confidence, you know, we don't speak up in a meeting. We don't share our thoughts or apply for that job that, you know, we've probably been somewhat overqualified for a long time.
Yeah.
We don't stand up for ourselves or stand up for others, you know. It prevents us from making decisions because we think, oh my God, how many times have we talked to people about they think they're going to make the wrong decision or they second guess themselves.
Yeah.
You know, we don't start that business because it really takes courage and confidence to step out. And we've met so many women with so many talents to share, but they're so stopped by that step into their own business or really making it themselves, you know.
Yeah. And that lack of confidence just breeds fear and self-doubt, and then it just becomes this vicious cycle that's really hard to get out of if you don't have the right techniques to call on.
That's right. I mean, without confidence, we just don't have the courage to pick up the phone and make a sales call.
What about networking?
Oh,
How
my
many
God.
times have we spoken to women who just go, oh, no, I can't attend that networking event.
Yes.
It's too scary. And really all it takes is a couple of great confidence techniques to call on and you will be nailing it.
Yeah. And they're like, you know, when we've done presentations in executive level stuff, I mean, these are executive level women that still do not want to go to a networking event. Like, it's just one of those really scary situations because it's meeting new people and making small talk. And
What are people going to think? What if I get it wrong?
Right. That's right. Always worry. I mean, that comes up all the time. We're always worried about what other people are thinking. And it's, you know, which is why, you know, in our course we dedicated a whole module to that, because that is one of the foundational, you know, challenges that people face all the time. You know, what will people think if I do this? And, you know, all that sort of stuff. But, you know, without confidence, we're just paralyzed. We're frustrated. And you know what? It's exhausting.
Yeah.
It's exhausting having to fight this all the time. And that's why, look, I believe, as you know, that confidence is the most important life skill that we can learn and master, because we believe that with confidence, anything is possible. And you know what? We're probably right.
Yeah, I think we are.
Yeah, we are right. And that is what continues to drive us. The days when I coach a woman who has let the negative thoughts take over her life, or she thinks so poorly of herself that she hides or doesn't apply for the job or stays in a relationship that she knows isn't healthy. Or, you know, we meet a woman who can't speak up or is too afraid to express who she really is or feel confident in how she looks or something. You know, or, you know, we have women join our course and they introduce themselves to our private group and they tell us that she knows that the lack of confidence is the only thing in the way of her happiness or her business success or her creating a great life for her and her family.
And how about all the times that we've seen where, I mean, especially recently, where other people are recognizing it in them.
Yes.
So family members and friends,
Yeah.
they can see that this person's confidence is in the way of them having what they want.
Yeah.
And it's just a matter of bringing it to the front of their mind. So sometimes it's really, really great to just open yourself up to someone who you trust and who you love and someone who you know you can take advice from. Because when that person says, you know, I think you have so much talent, I think you have so much worth, but your confidence is in the way and you need to do something about it, you're probably more likely to believe them.
Yeah.
You know, if you've got these people who believe in you, then take it on board. Don't write that off.
Yeah.
And hold on to them. Let these people take this journey with you because they really will be your biggest advocate and they will always have your back.
Oh, absolutely. And we hear it over and over again. And every time we see the changes an increase in confidence makes to someone's life, it just spurs us on to keep going and educate more and more women.
Yeah.
And, you know, small business, as you know, has many challenges.
We can't count them anymore. There are that many.
And then we see the outcome that this information can do and how these skills can help. And it just keeps us going. And you know what? These skills are for life. So, you know, once these women and once they learn these confidence techniques and how to build themselves back up again, they have those skills for life. It's just like riding a bike. Like once you get it, you've just got it and you know what you can do for yourself.
Yeah.
And, you know, does that mean that they won't ever feel low in confidence again?
Probably not.
No, of course not. I mean, I am a confident woman and I have days when my confidence takes a dive. But, you know, once you learn the tools, once you learn how to bring your confidence back up again, you have that skill for life. So no matter what comes your way, and look, as we all know, there is always going to be stuff coming our way.
Yep.
We can take back control of our confidence and build it back up again. And plus, you know what? What excites me so much more is what you mentioned earlier. When we teach confidence to the women, and then they go on to inspire the people around them. And then those people become more than they ever thought possible, you know? And we've heard those stories come through that they, you know, the women we're talking, we're like, I'll say, you know, you're now the leader. You've got to step into this role of being being this confident woman to show other people the way through. And then those people, they help them build successful businesses and share their talents with the world, and, finally apply for that job and be an exceptional leader. And God, doesn't the world need more of that right now, right?
Yeah.
And, and what you said before, they go on to teach those techniques to their children. And, oh my God, it just expands from there. I mean, imagine knowing confidence techniques as a young child or a teenager. I mean, I really do feel like I'm so fortunate to have been moved onto this path at quite a young age, and have, there wasn't podcasts like this or anything like that in those days, but have access to books that opened my mind and changed the way I saw the world. But imagine our children having that. And I know they're doing stuff at schools now, a lot more well-being things and stuff on resilience, but I never got taught any of this at school.
No.
It just wasn't
having this
available.
in the curriculum would be amazing.
Yes. Imagine how differently the course of our lives would be if we were taught this stuff at school.
Yeah. Well, look, I know it would have changed my life and many elements in my life. I know for a fact that if I'd had more confidence in high school, I think I would have done something sporty. I would have at some point, engaged in something sporty, because I was sporty in primary school. I loved my softball and my netball, and I was always the captain of the team, and I was doing all this cool stuff, and I'd enter every race in a swimming carnival and athletics carnival, and then I got to high school.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden these thoughts kicked in, and I didn't have the tools to counter them. So, what are people going to think? And these are new people. I went to high school. I didn't know anyone. What if I run and I fall and I embarrass myself? Or, what if someone sees me and they make fun of me? There was so much that was playing in my mind, and it was all about my confidence. I just didn't know it at the time, and I didn't have the tools as a teenager to work with that. And it's just, look, I'm always saying life is just way too short to not enjoy it and have a great life and be who you are.
Yeah.
And confidence is a big part of that. The second you have confidence and you have that belief in yourself, which is what I was lacking in high school, that's the most important ingredient to creating that, and to just, having the opportunity to do what you want. Whether you take that opportunity or not is a different story, but just giving yourself that chance it's a really big deal. And that's why we're so excited with what we're creating here, because we're hoping to give this opportunity to people. We have some amazing things to share and some really, really interesting and inspiring women to interview.
Yeah, can't wait.
I know. And it's just such a great way to talk to more people about this subject, and then also get our message out to more people.
Yeah. And we've been trying, as usual, to do this for a long time. And,
yes.
We're both busy mums and busy jugglers of many, many different life things. But now we've sort of, really focused over the last few months just to go, right, let's just kickstart this. And we've written that list of people we want to interview, and just what we want to, how we can expand this message to just help more people and help more women, and then they go on to help. Like it's exciting. It's just, and then, it's just completing our passion, because we're so passionate about it. We could talk for hours, but it will be. I think it's going to be great to have also other women's perspectives, and bringing, because we want to learn from we want it to be that learning environment. I want to learn from other people. We don't have all the answers. We're always learning. We're learning about things all the time. So,
and these women all have their own secrets, right?
That's right. That's why. We want to find, hunt them down and find out all the secrets to share with you on this podcast. So
sometimes it's really simple though. Sometimes it's a really simple technique that you'd never realize is a technique.
Yeah.
And it's this woman's go-to, and it's something that we've never tried before. But if and we've got, a few really great episodes coming up that deal with these different specific techniques that once you hear it, you go, oh my God, that's a great idea. But unless you're made aware of them, you just never know.
Well, that's that, expanding the way you think
and your awareness
to then go, oh, I just didn't even think of it like that. And then that's that, again, the thought changes, then the behavior,
absolutely,
which then starts changing your life,
your habits.
Doesn't it?
Yeah. And look, there are so many elements to confidence that we'll get into, because there's so many things about confidence that we think a lot of people aren't aware of. and the way it works, and some things that, you think there's something wrong with you, but there are things that are totally normal. So we'll get it more into elements of confidence later on.
Yeah. Well, I'm excited.
Yeah.
So if you're listening to this podcast now and you know that an increase in confidence would make a significant change in your life, then we'd love you to subscribe to this podcast. And you can also head over to our website, risewomen.com, and check out what else we have to offer. There's plenty of stuff on there.
Yes, there is.
Yes. So, Anastasia, I think that's a wrap for today. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
That was
fun.
It
was.
Can't wait for the next one. And until next time, remember, with confidence, anything is possible. See you then.
Bye.